guys. I promised a few people I would do a quick video on jewelry making. So I just did my first cloud pour upstairs earlier, and I have a little bit of leftover paint, which is quite lovely, and I have a piece of freezer paper here. So I'm going to mimic, or try to mimic, the runoff from an actual pour, and just kind of come in here and then I'm going to stick my cup upside down over there for a minute. And normally runoff. Let's see, I'm just trying to get this all covered. Maybe get a little bit more over there. And then I'm going to try to get this to move around a little bit. There, get the last little bit of that. So what I'm going to do is just stretch this out a little bit. I don't need it real thick. In fact, it's better if it's not too thick. And just make sure I have all my little holes here covered. Alright, so I don't know how well you can see this, but this is what we ended up with. So I've got some cabochons here for a couple of different jewelry blanks. So I'm just going to grab a handful of these, and some of them are oval, some of them are round. And there are 3 different ways of doing this, actually, before we get into that. You can go onto Wish and get a whole mess of these little fancy cabochons with a galaxy or a tree or what have you on it. And those are cute, those are pretty, they're like $1, or sometimes you get them for free. The other way you can do this is to actually glue it onto a skin. Now this is photo paper, and I'm going to try to bring it in so you can see a little bit better. There you go. And once the paint on the photo paper dried, I glued my cabochon down on it. Now the third way you can do this is by taking, let's start with an oval, by taking your cabochon, just putting it in the paint, turning it upside down, and moving it to one side. Now this will leave with a paint. This will leave you with a paint residue on the top, but that's easy enough to clean. So I'm going to come in here and do a couple of these, and get these off to one side to dry, and then we're going to work on putting some of the stuff that I've already done together. And it's easy enough to just push these down, turn it over, put it to one side where it can dry. It will get paint on the top of it. That is okay. It's not going to hurt it. It's just going to give it a little bit of character on the top, and then you can just wipe that off. So I'm going to come in here and just finish these few off, because I hate to waste the paint, and I made a little bit too much for the cloud effect pour that I was doing. And this was my leftover paint from my Saturn project. So, and if it starts getting muddy in an area, start avoiding that area. Let's see. Get a few more of these oval ones. So I'm trying to pick out the areas that I think are of most visual interest and do those. Bring it over here, wipe off the top a little bit, and keep going. And I think I'll put this right in here. see something over here on this piece that I like. Turn that up, stick it to one side. Come back in with another one. Turn it over. That's the hard part, is once you put these in the paint, they get a little on the sticky side. And you also have to make sure that you push it down so that you have full contact with the paint. Like this one here did not have as much contact as I'd like, so I'm going to put a little bit more paint there. So I think you kind of got the idea on that part. So I'm going to push this to one side for a moment. And I can keep going with this in a little bit. Now, these, try to find one that's not going to be hard to clean. This is one of the ones that I did, and if you look, you can see a paint film on the top. So I have a damp piece of paper towel here, and I'm just going to start wiping this down, and this will wipe right off. Just all you need is a damp paper towel, and then when you finish with the damp paper towel, I usually go in with a second piece of paper towel and just dry it off. But it's pretty easy to get it all off. That didn't take me very long at all. And I'll come back in here and make sure it's all properly cleaned up. And there you have it. It's perfect now. Now you can take something like this, and I didn't bring any blanks out with me. You can actually, what you do is, I have it here with me. I do. Here, I'll show you exactly what to do. Diamond Glaze is one of my glues of choice. I really like Diamond Glaze. So I'm just going to come in here and put just a couple of drops in the center. You do not need a whole lot. Oops. There we go. And just stick a few drops in the center. Close it back up because this will harden very quickly. And then just take your cabochon and put it in here, and you can kind of maneuver it for the first couple of seconds to get it the way you want. And here is a finished piece. So what I frequently will do is, when my husband has treatments in Boston, if I've gotten a bunch of these done, then what I will do is take them and just, while I'm there, quickly glue them right into their seats, and that's that. Now if you're going to take, let's see if I can get another blank. If you're going to take one of these, it's the exact same process. I think that would look nice for the darker blank. Alright, so I'm going to get a turtle blank for this one. I happen to have, oops, sorry about that. Happen to have a little bit of a thing for turtles anyway. They're very gentle creatures of the ocean. So now I have a turtle blank. Okay, and I'm going to use one of the cabochons that I got from Wish. So again, I'm going to come in here and just put a couple of drops. You don't need much. If you use much more than 3-4 drops, then that's probably too much. And since you don't have a long working time, just if it has a particular pattern you want it in, try to lay it down as close to that pattern as possible, and then just fudge it, just, push it down a little bit, twist it, push down, and then you end up with something like this. All right. So it's actually really easy, and the thing is these blanks come into so many different colors. Like I've got an owl, I've got a skeleton key, and bronze skeleton keys that you can put darker colors in. They have actual just round ones. Now that one's all black and silver. And there's kitty cats. And that's just a few. You can get bookmarkers, you can get pretty much anything you want to. And like I said, with something like this, I would just take a pair of scissors, cut it out around the cabochon, and glue this whole thing right into a seat. So I hope this helps a few of you guys that have had a lot of questions about skins and jewelry making. Now, if I chose to, I could let this sit here and dry. And once it's completely dry, I can pull it right up and turn around and glue my cabochons directly onto the dried piece. So there are a number of ways you can do it, and never be afraid to try. And maybe it's not perfect the first time, but every time you try, you learn a little something more, and you get a better understanding of what it is you're trying to do and how to achieve that. So I hope you guys try it. I hope you have a good time. I know my camera's not picking up. I'm gonna try to do this without. I know my camera's not picking up the colors as well as I'd like it to, but it was sort of the same colors that I have left over. Maybe that's better. That might be a better angle from my pour. And then you just glue them right into the little seats, and that's it. And these, all this paint on the surface just wipes right off. And if you find one that you really don't like this one here, is not, the paint's not sticking to it very well, you can just turn around and peel that off. See how I've already started peeling it off in just a few seconds? So don't be afraid to try this stuff. And pardon me, I don't have my hair on, but that's okay. It's hot today. So you guys have an awesome day. Enjoy things, try things, be brave, be adventurous, be wonderful. Take care, bye.